There are many approaches to dealing with and solving problems in the community. And you've got a lot of organizations and individuals who are in the process continually of solving the problem. But one thing that I've noticed over the years is that dealing with problems and issues is more effective when it's done not just from the top down, but also the bottom up. So there is this initiative in this community called On the Table. And in many instances, people don't have the opportunity, regular people, everyday people, community people, people in neighborhoods don't have the opportunity to give their input on what they think needs to be done to make this community better. So I'm so happy that the Community Foundation, the Knight Foundation, and other organizations have come up with this concept called On the Table that's designed to get input from the bottom up. And when the top down and the bottom up meet, as it relates to different issues, and the results are more measurable and more effective. This is a call to action.
A
A
call.
call
Call to
to
action.
I'm
action.
your host, Alex Habersham, and I'm very excited today to be able to do this conference, this interview, this virtual on the table discussion about on the table. And so I'm going to ask Catherine to just give us an overview of what on the table is.
Thank you, Alex.
All right.
You're always so kind to have us and be a supporter of On the Table since the beginning. But On the Table is so simple that sometimes people think it's complicated, that it is an opportunity for, as you said so eloquently, for citizens to come together and have a conversation about things that are important to them, about the community. And the host, it's just like any other conversation. You have a host and somebody that the host invites others to participate. And then the host will decide what the topic of the conversation is. You can have a general conversation about, what do you like about the community? What do you think needs to be improved? What are some ways to do that? Or you can have something very specific. If you are interested in food insecurity and you want for your friends to say, all right, what can we do as individuals to help ameliorate that problem? Then that's what you talk about. If you want to talk about, how to get young people more involved in community leadership roles, you could have that conversation. You pick the topic, and but what's more important, the conversation is important. You can have a private conversation where you invite your guest, or you can, what a lot of people want to do, and most people do, is they want to meet new people. So they pick their topic and then they open up their conversation, and anybody that's interested can sign up. And so you can meet 11 new people that you didn't know before and talk about this, whatever issue you decided. And then once you've had this conversation, what we hope people will do will be inspired to take action, and that talking about it is important, but also realizing that there is so much that we can do as an individual, that we don't have to wait for somebody else. We don't have to wait for government or some organization to start helping improve a situation or a problem. We can do it as individuals. And so what can I do? What can you do to take action? And so to encourage people, most of this stuff you can do without money. It just takes some good old brain power and people power to get it done. But sometimes you need a little bit of fuel, a little bit of money. And so the Community Foundation and Knight Foundation have put together $70,000 for the action grants, so that to get and individuals can apply to get a little bit of seed money to get those ideas going.
Okay, Darius, are you familiar? Incidentally, that's Miss Catherine Dennis, who's the president of the Community Foundation, which is the sponsoring organization. We're gonna go to Darius Maynard. Hey man, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm outstanding. Who's the program officer?
That's right.
For the Community Foundation. Do you want to add anything to that, Darius? Maybe reflect on some of the stuff that happened last year, just any kind of additional input, because we want people to really understand that On the Table is for watch me, is for everybody.
That's right.
Too often people sit back and sit down and look from the rear Well, we want you to come up to the front,
Mhm.
and then, there's an old saying that says, don't just stand there, do something.
That's right.
So this is the opportunity for everybody to do something. So Darius, what would you add to that?
Exactly. So thank you for having us on your show again, Alex. And Catherine did give a great introduction to On the Table. And all I would add is that just last year, the experience that I've had was working with Miss Andrea Cook, who is like a superstar in Bibb County now, who came to On the Table, participated, and went on to use her discussion to take action. And
Right.
so what she found was that a lot of people who are homeless and who are just living in poverty didn't have the means to get clean clothes, to get the clothes that they have that they own already, to get those clean. And so she took an on table grant, was awarded $1,000 grant, and she took that grant and leveraged it and got other partners involved. So she was able to get local laundry mats to open up their space to allow for those people to come in and get their clothes washed for free. In addition to that, she took that grant that she received and got a local laundry detergent company to donate a lot of laundry detergent so that they could
Wow.
be able to
Wow.
wash all those clothes. And she only started at one location, but then she recognized that there was a real need. And she had so many different partners coming to the table, wanted to be a part of that, that she was able to expand and go to different neighborhoods where laundromats were available and to get those people's clothes washed. So when we say that it's for everybody, it's literally for everybody. And we want people to feel like they are a part of this community, and more importantly, that their voices are heard. And when they have something to say, and I remember just watching A Different World um, in college, and there's this episode where the public speaking teacher told them that, I am a voice in this world, and I deserve to be heard. And this is what this is all about. That
That
voices
is
are heard.
that is so outstanding. And I want us to be clear here. And I want everybody to understand that this is a process, excuse me, that's designed for everybody to participate. Now, it's amazing what can happen when you got all facets of the community involved. You got the so-called leaders, you got the middle folk, and then you got the everyday, the stakeholders, and the affected folks.
Mhm.
I'll say that again, the affected folks. And then that's why it's important to do something like On the Table, because, you know, it's kind of like, somebody say, I know how you feel. Well, no, you don't, because you haven't necessarily been through what I've been through. It's okay to try to simple and empathize, but in order to know the true feeling, the person that has been affected needs to bring it out. And this is an excellent opportunity for everybody, those who are affected and those who want to help those who are affected, to
Mhm.
come together and try to come up with initiatives such as what Andrea did with the clothes cleaning and things like that. Okay, so Miss Ham Tech, I got we got with us Miss Tristel Parham of Ham Tech Solutions. What I'd like to do is congratulate her and her husband and for their Ham Tech Solutions involvement in the technological aspect of On the Table. And this year, Catherine and you, we're gonna do it virtually, right? Talk about it being
We are.
virtual.
One of the wonderful things about On the Table the past 2 years that it was over a meal and that people could really connect and talk to each other. But we can't do that this year because of the pandemic. And I think the world is pretty much used to talking to each other now and participating in like we're doing now on a Zoom call. But we still, I think we are craving. When I talk to people, people are craving that connection, that personal connection. And so this isn't just a regular old Zoom meeting or meeting. This is truly a conversation. But we have to do it virtually because our new tagline is that we're virtual, not viral. And and then also we need some super hosts, not super spreaders. But so we needed a way to be able to do this. We had 6,000 people participate last year. So how could we do that in a virtual world? And so first of all, we decided we needed more than a day. So we spread it out over a week. It's November 16th to the 20th. Well, then I put my thinking cap on. I was like, all right, I don't know how to do this. But I know some people that can. And so I reached out to Christelle and Arian Parham at Hamtech Solutions to see if they had some ideas on how they could help us. And I had watched Christelle and some of her other on the table Conversation to Action grant recipients pool their grants to put on a virtual conference or virtual day of conversation this summer. So I knew she could do it. And so I'm going to let her tell you what she's come up with and how we're going to be able to do this so well. And I think that people, it's going to be easy for our participants to have these conversations. So Christelle.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine. And thank you, Mr. Habersham, for having us today. To continue off from what Catherine said, yes, so last year, Andrea and I were one of the recipients. We each had on the table Conversation to Action grant, and COVID happened, right? So we didn't want to stop it right there, but we put our thinking cap on, and like you mentioned earlier, Darius, we decided to collaborate and come together and still provide that same experience. And we created Elevate, right? And we were still able to continue our Conversation to Action idea and bring it to life. So we're really, Arian and I from Hamtech, we're really excited to bring on the table virtually. And whenever we're ready, I would love to walk you through the website to see how you can register to be part of the conversation.
I'm ready.
Awesome.
I want to say that we would love, what we need are people who are willing to host conversations, and you can have your own private conversation, but we'd really love people that are willing to meet new people and offer to lead conversations virtually. And so we need hosts, and we're asking hosts to sign up by Wednesday, November 4th, by the close of business on Wednesday, November 4th. And then because we would like on Thursday, November 5th for citizens to be able to sign up for conversations. But we need about 7,500 seats for people to sign up to participate. So we need my call to action, Mr. Habersham, right now. We need some people who are willing to be hosts. And it is easy. It sounds scary, but I promise once you ask the first question, that's all you have to do. People start talking.
And let me jump in there to say, they said the proof is in the pudding. So I'm going to host 2 tables.
Right.
One of which will be African-American downtown businesses. I think there's a need for the community to know that there are a lot of African-American businesses downtown. We're going to talk about them, what their needs are, what their services and products are. So, if I can do it, you can do it. The other table that I'm going to host very quickly before we get with Christelle, there are a lot of community organizations that are doing great things in Unionville, in Fort Hill, in Pleasant Hill, in South Macon. So I'm going to pull those community organizations together, for an on-the-table discussion on their communities, what they are doing, how they can put together a coalition. And so I've already got that in the process. So I'm just saying that, Christelle, to show how easy it is to want to be a host on the table, but you got to show us how to really do it. Christelle?
Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen. All right, so as we talked about, it's really easy to host a table. You might have been thinking about something you wanted to talk to with your neighbors or your church community or your coworkers or anyone that partakes in your organization. and you really want to bring the community's input into it. So what you would do is go to onthetablemacon.com if you're in Macon Bibb, or onthetablemilledgeville.com if you're in Milledgeville, or if you're in Central Georgia and you still want to participate, you can go to onthetablecentralga.com. And all three websites look the same. So what you would do is once you get to the website, you would click on host. And it's very simple, because once you get to the host page, we've laid out the steps for you in the call to action button, and all you do is click on it. So I'll go through this quickly. So what you will do is, step 1 is to register your table. Once you register your table, I think my information is already there, but you would register your table. This is not my real information. And you'll fill it out, and it could be personal or on behalf of an organization. You would click public or private, and once you click public or private, and private is for any table that you feel needs some privacy and you already know who you're going to invite. So you'll type the name of your table. I'll call it call to action table. Just for
I like that.
Let's see. And then you'll choose the table category. And it's very thorough. And just in case you might feel like there's no category that aligns with your title or your conversation, you'd click general. And you get to select a date and time for your table.
Wow.
And then save the table. And once you do that, you can also go to My Tables, and you could register as many tables as you would like to register. And if you feel like you made a mistake, you need to change the time, you can also edit the table right here. Click on Edit the Table, and then that would be it. But once you're done registering your table, you need to take your training. So you would also get an email with your training. So we're using a different platform for the training material. As soon as you register your table, you will receive an email with your login information for the training platform. You click on that and you register and you get to your training. So on the training, we have many different modules, and also we have the downloadable forms for the virtual toolkit. And if you want to share with your if you want to also participate in different tables, there's a schedule sheet where you can get to print it and say, and write down all the tables you'd like to participate in. And once you're done with your training, you need to schedule your demo, because we will be testing your computer, your internet connection. And if you have any questions, you can also do that there. And we are using Hopin as a platform to host the tables. So you would need to create your account if you don't have one already. We're encouraging everyone to add their profile picture, their social media handles in their profile, because you're also using this opportunity to meet people you've never met before and connect with them, right? So you want to be able to have those information available, because we also have a cool networking tab that you can use. And if you want to keep the conversation going with this person, you can always connect with them later. So back to the demo. So you would book your demo after you create your Hopin account. And we have various times that you can actually book your demo. So after you do that, you will go back to this. And this is very easy. We've laid out the steps for you, just in case. And then we have resources. We have the virtual toolkit, the PDF version. We have graphics that you can use as you advertise your table. and we'll be uploading the conversation prompts just in case you might be wondering how to start the conversation. And we have some frequently asked questions. And lastly, it's important to take the survey. So you'll be able to come back and take the survey right here, and you'll be able to apply for the conversation action grant once it's available here. And that's just for hosting the table. Once we open the tab for you to join the table, you can come back on the website again and click attend. And that way you can sign up for as many tables as you'd like to participate in. And that's it for me.
Oh, wow, outstanding, outstanding. That is so plain and so simple. Now, let me ask you a question, Christelle.
Yes.
Just in case a person struggles a little bit, what's the resource to obtain additional information if there is a need? I know you got frequently asked questions and things of that nature, but is there a resource for a person to go to, if they kind of hit a bump?
That's a great question. We actually have a tab under the training. Let me go back to sharing my screen. All right, so right here, let me start over so we won't get confused. So you'll click on host. You see where it says step 2, complete training.
Right.
You click on start training. There's a training support right here. You fill out this information, your name, your email, your phone number. You choose an issue. And you can either say didn't get your login information, you can't access your resource, your training, or the problem is not listed. Or if you also want the in-person feel, you can ask those questions during the demo test as well. So, because I understand sometimes, sometimes I feel like I need that in-person contact to ask the question.
Right.
So you can either do this part where we email you back or give you a call, or you can also, once you schedule your demo, we'll have a group training and group testing. You can also ask these questions. Does that answer your question, Mr. Habersham?
It does answer my question, Ms. Ham Tech Solutions. You've done a phenomenal job, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm glad that they chose your company to do it, and you've done an outstanding job. Is there anything that you would like to add to that, Darius?
As you was going through the website, I just want to reiterate how easy it is to be a table host. And some people might be hesitant because it's virtual this year, but let me just put it in a different perspective for you. Last year and the year before last, Catherine mentioned, all you have to do is ask the first question and then it takes off. And the conversation goes on and on and on. And if you're a person like me and schedule a table at 9:30 and you have a table at 10:30, and the 9:30 table is downtown and the 10:30 table is across town, then there's not enough time to get there. With this virtual environment, you can get off this call and go straight to the next one, and you're right on time. So I am just so grateful for Ham Tech and our team for coming together to make this thing happen. This has been an awesome journey thus far, and they are so professional, and we couldn't have done it without them this year. In this virtual world is just a learning curve for everybody. And so this is going to be successful, and it's going to be a great time for everybody.
This is a call to action. Host Alex Habersham interviewing Ms. Catherine Dennis of the Community Foundation, Ms. Christelle Parham of Ham Tech Solutions, and Mr. Darius Maynard, Program Officer of the Community Foundation. And we're discussing this very, very important and fun initiative that we've got coming up called On the Table. And Catherine, if you would, talk a little bit more about registration and encourage and explain that there are two roles that you can play as it relates to On the Table. We want everybody to participate, and we want everybody to understand that there are two elements that through which you can be involved.
On the table allows for people to enter in many different ways, but in two ways primarily. Being a host is critical right this minute. We need people to be willing to put themselves out there and host this conversation. It's the virtual world is really nice because you don't have to prepare food or anything this time. All you have to do is pick your time and your topic and let people sign up to join the conversation and be willing to let people introduce themselves and start the conversation. So hosting is critical, and on the website there's a place where you can sign up. We hope that we'll have all of our hosts by November 4th, the end of the day on Wednesday, November 4th. But then on Thursday, November 5th, that's when everyone can sign up and participate in a conversation. You can go to the site, you can look and see what the different topics are, find the conversation that you want to be a part of, and sign up to be a part of the table. And I want to reiterate this, that there are 3 different sites. So you need to check when you think in your mind. On the table, Macon.com. If it is a Macon-Bibb County centric conversation, that's where you'll find that. If you are looking for something that's regional, then go to onthetablecentralga.com, onthetablecentralga.com. And so if somebody wants to have something that's applicable, a conversation that's applicable to our region, then go there and you can look and see what tables are there, or any of the counties that the Community Foundation serves. There are 21 counties, so 19 counties that don't have a specific site, because we also have on the table Milledgeville.com. So if you have a table that is specific for Milledgeville and Baldwin County, that's where you would go. So so there's lots of opportunities for people to talk. So first call to action. Put yourself out there. Be willing to be a table host. It is, I promise you, it's easy to sign up and it's easy to lead that conversation. Just be willing to step out there and host a conversation about something you're interested in discussing and getting a little bit deeper in. And then secondly, participate and sign up to participate and attend a table. That we have the conversations, you've met people, you've talked about ideas and solutions, but then you figured out what can you do as an individual or as a group or with other people that you know to actually take action. And we're on a call to action. I can't think of a better place to be saying this. Why are you just standing there? Do something. And so this is that opportunity. So then you have the opportunity. If you participate in a conversation, you're going to have to tell us when you apply what conversation or conversations you participated in. You can apply for a grant. But then also at the end, we're going to ask you to take a survey. And we have 2 years of data from our citizens who participated in On the Table. And it talks about what's important to you, what are you worried about in our communities, and you're going to put in your zip code so we really can dig down and figure out what are people in different neighborhoods even thinking about and what are they concerned about. And this data the past 2 years has been used by local government, by the sheriff's office, by local foundations and the school districts. And so this data is important too. And you're not giving away any personal information that can be attributed back to you. This data though is important because it's your chance to be heard. And this is not just somebody else. This is you. Let your voice be heard.
Well, I'm so glad you said that, because I don't want people in the community thinking that their voice does not count or that they cannot play a role in the betterment of the community. Don't complain. Don't just sit there. Do something. And there have been many instances wherein people didn't really have this kind of opportunity to be involved and to make their voices heard and to do something. You want to say something else, Catherine?
Yes, I was thinking about it, that I think On the Table has changed how our communities function going forward anyway. I think that people are used to that. I mean, somebody said, I want it to be a verb. Let's on the table this, that that you see more and more conversations with people that we need to really talk about it, you know, not for me, without me, that you need to get at a grassroots level and figure out where, if you've got a solution to something, you need to make sure you figured out what the people who the problem is affecting, that they're part of that. And this is a chance, I think On the Table has flipped it so that people are willing to listen and bring together the people who matter. It's, you know, it's not somebody deciding for you. That's very patriarchal. I mean, this is about hearing what the people that have the needs think could help them.
And those neighborhood organizations, I've talked to several of them this morning, and they are very excited about the possibility of letting their feelings and their thoughts be known and getting together in order to make a measurable difference in their community. Darius, did you want to add anything?
I really do. Just talking about the impact and being inclusive of everyone. For the last 2 years with On the Table, we've also hosted tables inside the jail. And we've been able to allow those who are housed there to also participate in conversations about their predicaments. And from there, they've been able to be a part of those surveys as well and have their voices a part of the greater voice when we deliver that data to the different governments, groups, and things of that nature. So it's important. And even those who are homeless right now, they've been able to participate as well for the last 2 years down at Daybreak. And they found out and told us what their issues were and how it's hard on them. They were able to tell their stories and connect with other people so that they could, you know, take the journey together to find ways to alleviate their issues. So it's very inclusive of everyone and important for everybody to participate.
That proves that the proof is in the pudding. And it also shows that On the Table reaches all segments and facets of the community. So the call to action for you is that everybody needs to be involved to either host and or attend the table. Time is up, but I'm hopeful that we have motivated everybody to join or host a table, Ham Tech Solutions. Quickly give those websites again, Christelle.
All right, onthetablemaking.com, onthetablemilledgeville.com, onthetablcentralga.com.
This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, and in my parting words are, join On the Table. Have a great day.